before you dance, or if I meet a sister that live on the west side,
Right.
before I dance with her, I gotta go out west and dance with her brother.
Right.
The first thing he said, can he get out?
Yeah, let me
So I
holler
gotta
at
go to Robert, I gotta go to Henry Horner.
Right.
You know, and I gotta get it in.
Let me
and
holler
then I
at
get a
dude.
pass.
Right.
So hear what I say, for it is the truth you see. There can only be one, the original.
OG. Two letters that define respect. Welcome to the original OGs. I created the original OGs to document the forgotten parts of American history. I want to recognize and give a voice to the men and women that have climbed to the top of their game. Believe me, the men and women that sit in front of this marquee have been authenticated as original OGs. My name is Mr. Rick. Welcome to my world, a world of the originals, the unique. Welcome to the original OGs. Welcome to another episode of the original OGs. We have a fascinating interview for you today. He's an entrepreneur, black business owner of B's Building Economic Empowerment. He's also known as the World Steppin Champion. He's a community leader and activist. This brother is a triple OG of the stepping game. Calvin Jarrett, better known as Taboo, the GOAT of stepping. Welcome to my world, brother.
Hey, man. Glad to be here.
We'll get right into it. We'd like to take them on a journey of stepping
Yes, sir.
for the people. What is stepping?
Well, stepping is a Chicago culture that's, if you go around the country, you got partner dances everywhere. But it originated from the bop.
Okay.
When I'm stepping, I'm bopping.
Oh, okay.
Sam Chapman and 1974, 75, we in the dungeon. And he said, man, these guys stepping their ass off. And it just resonated.
What's the difference between bopping and stepping?
There's no difference. It's the same dance. You just
Same
changed the
cadence?
name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just changed the name. The name just changed. Now, July 30th, they voted me the greatest step of all time. Now, I would never sit here and say I'm the greatest step of all time because I come from greats.
But they
I
said,
come from the greatest generation of steppers of all time because you got two tiers here. You got the brothers that came before me that encouraged me to be a stepper, but they didn't have the access that we had. You know, they couldn't go all around, so they was neighborhood. You know, Times Square, UIC. You know,
Right.
Slim and Herbie and Lil Tommy and Marzette Griffith and guys like that. Ice
Right.
Ray.
Right.
Kerry from the West Side. It just went from high school to high school, party to party.
The Bishop Don Magic
Bishop
Juan.
Don Juan, which is the greatest smooth stepper that I ever saw. So, but when we came out, we young cats, I'm a freshman in high school. We moving around the city. I'm the first guy that ever went from South Side to the West Side and won a contest.
wow.
And but the dance never changed.
Okay.
The name of the dance changed.
Changed.
Now, this other generation, they created this concept that they never came to us. We went to Bishop Magic Juan, Slim, so they could pass it down to us.
Right.
In the 80s, to tell you how powerful this thing is, when crack cocaine came out, it destroyed our culture of it.
Okay.
So the young cats that got it now, they had no access.
Right.
So stepping is a culture in Chicago. So they grabbed it, but they didn't know nowhere to go.
Right.
So they just sit there and thought they watched what they watched. So they created this process. And now you got the internet that done took it all over America.
Right.
But they never came to us.
Right.
to get the proper way.
Well, we're going to fix
do it.
that.
So that's the difference between that era. But from the standpoint of Bishop Juan them era and Slim them to our era, dance never changed.
Okay. So what was your first experience with bopping and stepping?
Well, I was playing basketball for Dunbar High School as a freshman because back when I went to Dunbar, it wasn't no neighborhood school. You had to go pass a test. And I lived in the Hyde Park area. I mean, in Hyde Park, this 63rd Street, because that's where I come from.
Right.
63rd, Blackstone, Kenwood. And so I was playing basketball, and this guy, Kim Bowie, was going with my cousin, and he came and got me from basketball practice. Now I'm trying to get to the NBA.
Right, that's your dream.
Yeah, my dream to get to the NBA. Yeah, I'm cold-blooded point guard.
Right.
Come get me, take me to Phillips High School, to a sock hop.
Right.
And man, ran into Ice Ray and Romeo.
Wow.
And a sister named Anna Bob. My coach still mad at me right now.
Wow.
Never went to practice again. Fell in love with the dance. But being the only child, I always strived to be the best.
Right.
And I went in there, once I learned that basic, I went and danced with the dough handle and, just crafted and crafted and crafted. But man, that dance changed my life, man. And I was awarded yesterday, 20,000 people at the world's largest picnic. And I told them, man, without stepping, my whole dream, because I'm looking at NBA now, I never made it to the NBA. so God sent a brother to save me, because it's always God's will.
Right.
We think we doing what we do, but God, once God step in, he got you in a whole different direction, man. So
once you got out the way.
Once I got out the way.
Yeah.
So that's where my journey started with that game, man.
So this show is based on OGs.
Yes, sir.
And as an OG yourself,
Appreciate that.
how does stepping ingrain itself into the lifestyle of an OG?
Whew, man. If you just think about Bishop Juan, you think about Jeff Ford, you think about Willie Cage.
Major steppers.
Major steppers, man. You understand? You go to a picnic, over in the corner, Minister Rico. Yesterday,
Right.
20,000.
Wow.
Every gang leader in town. Because that's where no fighting. You got
Exactly.
GD's Vice Lord Stones sitting, we in one row.
Ain't got nothing to do with this.
Ain't got nothing to do with this. The one place where you can't fight at
Right.
is at a stepper set. And people didn't understand why man on man is the highest level of stepping.
Right. Wow.
Because the world can't understand when they see two guys. Now you talking about gangsters, killers, pimps,
Right.
Getting it in on the dance floor. Because before you dance, or if I meet a sister that live on the west side,
Right.
before I dance with her, I gotta go out west and dance with her brother.
Right.
The first thing he said, "Can he get out?"
Yeah, let me
So I
holler
gotta
at
go to Robert. I gotta go to Henry Horner.
Right.
And I gotta get it in.
Let me
and
holler
then I
at
get a
dude.
pass.
it. Right.
So man, that thing is people don't even realize, man. And I tell people as we travel all over the country, why people so fascinated with stepping. They ain't fascinated with stepping, man. They fascinated with our culture.
Hello.
They trying to figure out, man, because we got a different kind of energy, man, because stepping ain't nothing but the pillar of our community.
Exactly.
The gangsters.
Let me interject something right in here for the audience. We're in Chicago. All of this stuff, stepping and everything that we're talking about right now, was birthed right here in Chicago.
Right here in Chicago.
Going a little bit further, you were just saying that all these different guys were at this event yesterday.
Yes, sir.
I came up bopping. I know the story well. I know what you could do, what you couldn't do. basement parties was
Absolutely.
the hottest thing going down.
Absolutely.
And you went to cut somebody up. You
Absolutely.
know, that was my
Bottom line.
Yeah. So how did that prevent, or how did it play a part that these different organizations didn't attack each other during the moment of the event of Steppin'?
Because what I share with people all the time about Chicago, you know, I never forget, man, when I come from the west side, come from the south side.
Right.
My cousin Borby lived in Rockwell. I come from a real close-knit family. I'm the only child. So every year we go and have dinner at somebody's house.
Right.
So this year we in Rockwell.
Right.
So when we get through eating, you know, the kids doing their own thing. My cousin Borby said, come on, man, let's go to Keemus Club.
Right.
Go to the Keemus Club. You know what I'm saying? I get down in the contest. They don't know me, right? They say,
Right.
anybody whoever getting this contest getting stuck up. Man, I went down the floor. I was so cold with it. I never forget it, man. Brother had a slick head, ponytail. I later found out he was Willie Cage.
Hey.
Say, man, ain't nobody bothering him, man. We dancing in here. Now, if we gang banging, that's another thing.
Right. But we ain't
But
gang
we
banging
stepping
here.
tonight. And that brother got down.
Player to player.
So it's just the connection.
Right.
Because we all love each other anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So when I'm sitting there yesterday with the Vice Lords over here, GDs over here, Minister Rico over in the corner, Highsmith over there, you know what I'm saying? This is our culture, man. We ain't doing none of that here. West side is little Alpha and them. They come to the south side. We go to the west side. You can be humbugging on Thursday. Friday, you're dancing with each other. That's the culture, and that's what everybody in the world loves about Steppin', man.
Let me, you know, you said something about man to man, two men stepping. That was one of the most fascinating things I ever saw. I mean, you get two men putting that craft down.
Ooh.
It's different than a man and a woman putting it down.
No doubt about it.
It's a whole nother game. But there was one guy that I was waiting to hit that flow.
Come on.
P. JoJo.
Come on.
Man, that dude can cut up.
Cold.
Man, JoJo, hey man.
Come on.
I would stand there for about an hour just watching this guy,
sir.
man. His flow is so ridiculous. I mean, to this day.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, this brother here ain't no joke.
JoJo Cole.
And that leads into you say you from the south side, you could go to the west side. South side stepping a little bit different than the west side stepping.
It's one dance, man. And this is why I tell people all the time. Just like anything else, it's a basic. Gotta have a basic, man. Ain't nowhere in the world I could go to the west side and dance with Lil Alfred if we ain't got the same basic.
Right.
You know, but it's just, you know, when you come down State Street from 22nd to 55th, you know, the Ickies, they had their own little style.
Right.
Dearborn Homes had their own little style.
Right.
PCs had their own little style. But the dance never changed.
Exactly.
Rockwell, Horner, the Abler Homes. I used to deliver papers with them brothers in the Abler Home Law Bulletin. You know, all them brothers went to Crane. Same dance.
Right.
And that's the beauty of stepping, man. You know, it ain't, even with any partner dance,
Right.
it's 6 count to the dance.
Point blank.
Period. I danced with Frankie Manning. Frankie Manning, man, is the greatest partner dance in history. When you see all of these movies from back then with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, man, Frankie Manning was their teacher. He told me in Atlanta, when they honored me in Atlanta, he said, Calvin, let me tell you this, man. He said, it's only one dance. Ain't no dance in America got 8 steps to it. See, stepping got 6 count, but these 8 counters then put 2 steps in there that really they supposed to be pauses.
Right.
But they never, it goes back to what I said. They never came and got proper direction.
Right.
You know, and then I go out here now, they teaching the men how to dance on the woman foot. You know, because they never came and got the direction. Stepping is a male-driven dance. You know, the women follow the dance.
Right.
I go out, they say the women count. What you counting for? I'm leading you.
Right.
So what you counting for?
I got that.
So, you know, and what I'm doing now, man, you know, I love my company, B Manufacturing Company, but Sam Chapman asked me to come back out here and straighten this dance out because they listen to me. Because I always treated everybody fair.
Right.
When you get to my level and stepping, man, I'm like Michael Jordan. People can't even come near me, but I ain't that kind of person.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
it.
So I open myself up. You know, when you at the top, you at the top. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
But my thing is because I'm doing God's will. So my goal now is to grab the young brothers and say, come on over here, man. Let me teach you how to do this dance so you can go out and do it proper because stepping gonna be here forever. Now,
Right.
if y'all generation missed the boat, I got a 12-year-old grandson that want to be great like me. So I
Right.
just go get him and his crew.
And let him lay it down.
And because the thing about this, we bet our own money. So you won't wait for no contest.
Right.
20, 30,
Right now.
here, right now, one song. So
get it.
that's where the difference between us and them. They wait on contests.
Right.
We don't wait on no contest. We do it right now.
Right now.
You know, and that's the
It's
difference
right
between
now.
winning and losing.
Now, what was the first contest you ever won?
Man, at the Hot Chaparral, and James Brown was the judge.
Wow.
James Brown, Don Cornelius. Never forget it, man.
Wow.
And the sister that I danced against, me and her good friends now. Now, I ain't nobody. I go in there as Calvin Jarrett.
Right.
You know, I ain't Taboo yet. I'm
Right.
Calvin Jarrett. And the sister Spring, man, Spring Brewer, she say, man, I danced against Benny. He came out of Parker High School.
Okay.
And because back then it was high school rumbling.
Right.
And Benny came out of high school. And, you know, you got all these greats out there, man. I ain't nobody. Little Tommy and Raymond, Romeo, and all these cats, man. Guys off 63rd Street, guys off 95th. And she said, man, you were the only person that Benny worried about. I said, me?
I ain't
Little
even
old
contest.
me? I ain't nobody. I'm just Calvin. And man, when I hit that flow and James Brown and say it's Benny and Calvin,
Wow.
and man, you know when the Bible say your fear come upon you, his worst fear came upon him because I wasn't great.
But you thought he was.
And I thought he was. But I'm a technician on the dance floor.
Right.
And I never forget Ice Ray and Romeo was sitting on the thing. They say, man, and you know, my man Lil Mike, he didn't have, but I met him in 74, worked with him for a couple of years, and he came out in 76, but he was assassinated. He was killed in 81. Man, he would have been the greatest stepper that ever lived on this planet. And I'm telling you, he's been dead since 81. If you walk in the party right now, you think he over there in the corner. That's
Right.
how great he was. But we never had any film of him or nothing.
Wow.
But when I hit, I seen Benny miss her hand, and I was quick. And I just went to work on it. And James Brown said, oh, it was over with. And I
He
left.
just told you.
I came in as Calvin Jarrett and went out as Taboo. And I'm a contest winner.
Right.
That's just what I do.
Exactly.
And that was my first contest.
What about the women? So, Max, I want to ask you the question. How does women play a strong role in the stepping world?
They the greatest. You know, you got Nikki that danced with Slim. You got Judy. You got Anna Bob. You got Darlinda. You got that's Minister Seymour's auntie. You got Demeter. You got the Foxettes. Well, let me say the women, they follow the dance.
Right.
You can't go without them. You know,
Right.
my partner, Carlene, who was Durkee's wife.
Right.
but I don't know if they was married when we were dancing, but
I get it.
we were kids.
Mhm.
But that was Durkee's wife. And me and her is the one that won the contest with James Brown.
Right.
But they just follow, man. But they so cold with
They
it.
got to know how
They
to
just
follow.
cold because they
Right.
understand the basics. The women today, they don't understand. When we were dancing back then with Judy and Nikki and all them, if I turn them wrong, they ain't going nowhere.
Right.
They understand how to guide you. Because they
Right.
dancing with the greats. They dance with Ice Ray. They dancing with Romeo. They dance with Slim Lil Tommy.
Right.
They dancing with these cats. So they got a young guy like me coming up. I hit her wrong. She refused. The difference today, these women don't understand
They
they
go
roll.
with it.
They just go with anything, man. So you turn up 10,000 times, around the corner, come back. And that's why the dance is so off balance now. But the one thing about it, the legends, we ain't going nowhere.
Right.
We here to stay.
Who, and let me throw this in there before I ask my next question. Now, is Rose in that category?
Rose is a promoter.
Right.
See, what happened in this new craze is that they created a whole lot of promoters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Back then when we was going, Brothers Palace was there. He had to promote
No
nothing.
secret to it.
Kingdom Club was there.
Right.
You ain't got to promote nothing. So we, as a people, we opportunists.
Right.
So what the whole stepping world is now is just people just decide they want to get stepping parties. And back in the day, man, I'm telling you, man, in the day, anybody couldn't come in the dungeon.
Hello.
You had to be carried in the dungeon.
Hello.
You couldn't just walk in the Keeper's Club.
Exactly.
Or Mr. G's, or Easter, Purr's house.
Right.
Before it was the Easter of the Rhine.
Right.
Man, somebody had to carry you in there.
Exactly.
You understand? Because it wasn't number gangsters. You understand? It's street thing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You have a bad day, you win your 2,000 and you come in there. Because we only dance one day.
Right.
On a Sunday. The Dungeon and the Keemers.
Wow.
So we go Monday through Friday, we hustling, we go there and enjoy ourselves.
And that was, let me.
And that's the key, man. So Rose Wellington, Rose a stepper. Don't get
Right.
me wrong. But they more on the promoter side.
Okay.
Because now you got a million promoters and now they stepping every day. And
Right.
what I say is this, in our world, what killed our culture was cocaine.
I get it.
And it became habitual. Well, where I look at stepping now, you got a lot of recovering addicts in the game that couldn't get in the game when we was in the game.
Right.
So they 30 years clean, but they done traded one habit for another one.
Right.
So now they just step every day. And
Get it.
we didn't do it like that.
And you just answered a question that in the back of my mind I always meant to ask, but for some reason never did. And the answer to that question was, you said that the dungeon was only open one day of the week.
One day of the week, that's it.
You know what I'm saying?
So the craze, man, I remember my mother put me on punishment and all my homies was getting ready to go to the dungeon. Man, I'm about to jump out the 4th floor window.
I can't miss Sunday,
because
mama.
I can't miss it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wait a minute, man, but how am I gonna get back in the house?
Exactly,
So-
without getting killed.
So that's the difference, man. Now I can't even go to a party. I go in there 10 minutes, I'm ready to go because it's habitual now.
Right.
Same people. It's like, and stepping is a spirit.
Right.
It's a spirit.
Right.
So if you don't have a spirit, it don't do what it's supposed to do for me.
I totally get it. We appreciate people like Rose.
Oh, ain't no
because
doubt.
It helped take stepping to another level.
Absolutely.
This thing is worldwide now.
Worldwide.
So that's a whole nother game.
Yes, sir.
Going over the list of people that you've named over the years, who would you categorize as the top 5?
Well, Mr. Rick,
That's a hard one.
you got to give me 10.
Oh, I finna say 5 is a hard one.
I'll give you 10 because we're talking about 2 eras.
Right.
So I give you 5,
And then give me 5.
and then I give you 5.
Okay.
The 5 from the era, Slim, ain't no doubt about it. It's Slim and everybody else.
Right.
You know, you got Slim, you got Raymond, you got Romeo, you got Lil Tommy, and then the throw up, number 5, can be a whole lot of people. You can put Marzette Griffith in there. You can put, I mean, there's so many people
Hey, man.
that you could put in there.
But
So
you're
I
still
don't
hitting
want to
some heavy shit, though.
I don't want to get caught out there in the middle of that, because it's guys that's just cold blooded that I would go see on one dance.
Right.
You come back in my era, you know, it's real simple.
Right.
You know, you got Lil Mike, you know, you got me, you got Lil Alfred, you know, you got Ty Skippy, you know, you got George Macaroni, you know, and you know, and
People you can't argue about.
you can't argue about them,
Right.
You know, so I'm you know, them 5 right there, you know, I just leave it right there, because you can't get around. And Lil Mike passed away, George Macaroni passed away, Lil Alfred passed away, Ty Skippy passed away. I'm the only one here.
Hey, man.
You know,
Alfred was another one of those people that I would just stand there and watch
absolutely.
all night.
All night. And the thing about it is this, you know, when I put the 5 together for and on the 5th spot, man, you got a brother named Kerry, man, out of Henry Horner, man. I mean, Kerry was out of Rockwell. No joke, man.
Hey,
you know,
man.
so that list, you know, it's tough, man, because
We don't
that's
want.
great.
There are so many people
Woo.
in Chicago
That's just cold.
that most people don't even know their names.
Say it again.
You see what I'm
Say it
saying?
again,
But
Mr. Rick.
I'm trying to tell you, they will steal your dance floor.
Still it, man.
Man, stop playing.
Still
For real, for real.
Still.
That was,
Yes,
hey,
sir.
man,
Yes,
serious business. So here, we're going to take this to another level, man. This show has the intent to define what a real OG is, what an original OG is. My partner and I have developed a method to ensure that if someone should sit in front of this OG logo, that they have been authenticated and found to be true in their history as far as what an OG is. Let's revisit and talk about some of the best that was in the Steppin game, or, you know, still exists. I don't know where they might be in the game, and why you think that they qualified to be at the best in this game.
Well, when you think about that era before me, like I said, I come in the game at 12, 13, Slim, no doubt, man. Just, I mean, if anybody in the Steppin game, he just was cold-blooded.
Right.
You know, just him and Nikki. But they had a third wheel with Slim and Herbie, because it's always 2 guys and then the sister. But Slim, man, I look at top of the line, Raymond and Romeo with Anna Bob, just graceful, man. You know, just graceful on the dance floor, man. You know, I go to the west side and look at brothers like Kerry, Marzette Griffith, you know, just smooth. And then when you come back to my era, you know, you got my man Lil Mike, you know, myself, you know, back then, you know, you would thought Lil Mike last name was Taboo. My last name was Lil Mike.
Okay.
So you couldn't say Taboo without saying Lil Mike, or Lil Mike without saying Taboo. Right. You know, Lil Mike was quick, man. He the one that brought the shuffle in the game. You know, and once I never forget, when I saw him on the dance floor in my mother's living room, he did that shuffle. I said, okay, game over with.
Game changer.
And I wanted to be I wanted to be a tailor.
Right.
So Lil Mike gave me the room to go study my craft. And Sam Chapman is witness to this, because I was cold all by myself.
Right.
And then when Lil Mike came in, I kind of got into my tailoring, and and just stood behind Lil Mike, because I know once he won a contest back then, women didn't get no money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Lil Mike win, we split that money, go to the crap game.
Right.
And it is what it is.
Exactly.
And Durkee's wife, Colleen, was the first one that ever got paid when we won the contest at the High Chaparral. We was sitting there, I'm waiting on my money. Colleen back there, I'm like, what you doing? She like, I come back and get my scratch. So she changed that game.
Right.
So
With
y'all
you.
women, y'all get Colleen her credos, because she the first one that got a check in that game.
Okay.
On the female side. But, Lil Alpha, man, just quick. And Lil Alpha was acrobatic. He knew karate.
Right.
So he put all that in the game.
Man.
And George Macaroni was big, but he was light. So, Lil Tommy, back to Slim them era, Lil Tommy was just cold-blooded, So, but here I say, Mr. Rick, it was a gang of us, man. You can't name them all, and they know who they are, man. They know I love them all, because I'll pay to see them dance.
Well, that's
how
what this
cold
is
it
all
was.
about. This is for them.
So and Brother Benny, on the west side, Seymour, Uncle Nut, cold-blooded, So I'm on the south side and the west side.
Right.
So I get an opportunity to see the best that ever did it, man. So I still go back and say, when they honor me as the greatest of all time, I never, ever, ever would ever believe that. But I accept it.
I get it.
But I do come from the greatest generation of all time, because I could name 5, 10 from Slim them era, but our era, too many, man. Too many to name. So I think we the one that put the threshold and made everybody love Steppin', because Slim them, they were a secret society. You couldn't even get to them.
Right.
Ice Ray and Marzette Griffin and all them cats.
Understood.
Couldn't get to them. I used to look through the window and see them. Our era, we became more friendly.
Right.
So we opened the game up a little bit. And but I'm telling you, man, you start talking about Mount Rushmore Steppin', man, you talking about the hardest thing in the world to do, man.
I totally get it.
And that's just like the NBA went from the 50th greatest, now they're at 75.
Right. You got to just keep expanding.
You got to keep pushing.
Get it.
So, and I everybody to see this, I want y'all to understand that it's a whole lot of cats out there, man, that I would absolutely pay to go see this dance. And I carry myself at the highest level. But these guys are great, man.
Yeah, but that culture got together and said that you were the GOAT.
Yes, sir.
Why would you say that you're the GOAT of Steppin'?
Because Steppin' is just not Steppin'. What I've done for Steppin', all the legends, they had forgot about them. I left, went to Maryland, raised my children, didn't step for 10 years. I hear all these new schoolers out there, they got the internet and all that. Sam Chapman and Demeter asked me to come back to Chicago because I always carried the game proper.
Mm-hmm.
And I got with a brother in St. Louis, me and a brother named Chase. Got with a brother named
I talked to him the other night.
Yeah. Me and Chase got with brother Irie Israel and created the Steppin's Lifetime Achievement Award, like the Grammys.
Right.
Of Steppin'. And I told these young cats, man, y'all ain't gonna forget about these legends, man. These legends ain't dying, man. So when Irie created that, it brought them right back to the top.
Wow.
Because they were dead. I mean, these youngers wouldn't even look at them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I say, it ain't happening, man, because, and when they honored me as the first recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award, I told the brother Irie, I said, I can't take it, man. This is a brother on 47th Street named Slim. Got to go find him first.
Wow.
Got to go find him first, man. I can't accept it. You can give it to me,
Right.
but I got to go find Slim.
Exactly.
And I went and found Slim, man, and Honest Slim,
Wow.
Ice Ray. I mean, they didn't even know these guys existed.
What?
I went and got Ice Ray. Went and got Romeo. Little Tommy passed away, but man,
Had to honor that.
had to honor that. So I came back and single-handedly, and I told these young cats, y'all gonna respect them.
Wow. That's what.
Because I understood that they were all, they got caught up in that thing that they put out here for us. I just never did drugs.
I get it.
So I'm clear, my mind clear. Never did alcohol.
I
So
totally
they
get
trusted
it.
me. And I brought us back. And now, the legends, when they honored me yesterday, I say, without the legends, I ain't even here.
Okay, there are other people.
So understand that part. So now the game is balanced.
Right.
And I think that's one reason. Even JoJo Pie said, he said, Taboo, you the best that ever did it. And it had nothing to do with the dance.
Right.
Take the dance out the question.
Okay.
You take the dance out. I added my understanding of bringing people together.
Culture.
To keep the culture together. I think that's why they honored me with that honor.
Hey man, I talk Chase all the time, and as soon as you said that, Chase being in LA now, he comes back quite often. But as soon as you said that, a flashback went in my mind, looking at Chase Step, and I said, "Oh, okay, I get that. I totally get that, man.
Absolutely.
So shout out to Chase, man, my man's, a beautiful thing, and we're gonna keep it popping. But that leads into a question that is quite relevant. Why do you think Steppin is so popular today all around the country and other parts of the world?
It's just like I told you. They bought into our culture. The dance is one thing,
Exactly.
but they trying to figure out that
Yeah.
That is, we cold-blooded.
Right.
We sharp.
Exactly.
Our mindsets. When they inducted me into the International Swing Hall of Fame, which is, Steppin ain't even their genre.
Right. They
came
added
from
it.
Switzerland to honor me. And the guy told me, he said, man, them women in Paris love you. I got a video with 20 million views.
Wow.
Because they love our culture, Mr. Rick. It's, when you look at Bishop Magic Wand on that dance floor,
Man,
he's doing Another World. Why do you think Snoop and them love him?
Man,
That culture, man. It's the culture that we put down. Even when you look at Brother Cliff Curry from the Notations, they sing it. That flow. See, it's that culture, man. When you go back to Chicago, man, you got 20,000 people in a park. You got to realize that's 100,000 votes.
Hey, man.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's insane.
It's about numbers, man. So the Steppin culture in this town is so huge, man. We control a lot.
Man.
And that's what people, they gravitate to, man. They come to Chicago just to see, you talking about, you out there, man, you see Minister Rico, you see, gangsters. It's like
enjoying the moment.
It's a whole nother culture, man. And I think, you got Marsha Thompson, the Shylights, you got Curry, Marzette Griffin.
Man.
They like all of us in one place.
Coming from the same world.
Coming from the same world.
Wow. What are you doing to take Steppin around the world and to introduce it to the people in this country and other countries in order to introduce this culture?
Well, what I'm putting together now is my tour, because what I want to do now, I want to, just like this show, I want to go do workshops, educate the people about our culture. So I'm kind of booked up for the year. I'm on my way to DC, Kansas City. But I just want to kind of share with the people what it is that they love about stepping.
Mm-hmm.
Because, legends, they cold. Legends, they arrogant. Legends is legends.
Comes with the territory.
They come with the territory. They ain't going nowhere. Okay? So I take it upon myself, because now I think it's my responsibility to go around the country and let the people know that this is the information that y'all want. Because we like a secret society. You know what I'm saying? Nobody know why they love stepping. They just love it. And I'm going to go around the country. So I'm setting up a tour now. First of all, I'm doing a workshop. But before I do any talking, before I do any stepping, I have to explain to you what you're doing.
Exactly.
Because I don't just come and teach you a basic. I teach you why you're doing the basic. So that's what I'm doing, man. Taking it around the country, teaching the dance, but also giving them the education of the culture.
And how can they contact you?
Well, you can reach me at 773-619-8485. If you want to set up a workshop, I'll come to your city. But it's all about economic development with me. That's one part. But I'll come teach. You put a group of people together, just the education. So you can reach me at 773-619-8485, and I'll pass that information on to my daughter that handles that part of Taboo, and she'll reach out to you, and then y'all can create whatever situation that y'all are trying to create. As a manufacturer, the most important thing with me is I protect people logos. I never, ever, 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 I asked Delvin. Now, I did this hat, but I asked Delvin and Mr. Rick permission to wear it, because they a customer, and I just can't be wearing their stuff without their permission. So I'm going to ask them for permission, because so many people want this hat. And my thing is not to have them to call you when I can just get it to them.
Yeah, don't call me.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm working on now. We got to work that part out. But everywhere I go, man, like that hat. And I'm kind of stuck like, well, take mine. But I ain't got but one.
Yeah, don't want to do
that. So, but we'll figure it out, because I'm telling you, I just think it's a great thing, man. I love you guys, and it's just an honor for me to even be on the show, and it's just an honor for me.
Well,
to
it's
sit
likewise,
here,
brother. No, it's likewise.
Yeah.
It's what we do. We look for the legends of our day, and we try to get them in that chair so that we can tell their story. And if you're really looking for OG apparel, we'll be coming out this week. You should go online and go to our webpage, the original OGs, not the real OGs, the original OGs. And we have quite a few things coming out. We're going to start with hats, T-shirts. We have the ones with the silhouette on them. We're going to do quite a few things. We'll come out with the glasses. We'll come out with the hat. Oh, man, people asking me for my glasses like, you don't know.
Powerful, man.
But we're going to create this. We're going to create this culture. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to keep offering it to the public.
This cap right here means so much to me, because when I met you brothers, you and Mr. Delvin, we talked about creating a process. And I own B Manufacturing, which is apparel manufacturing company here in America that I'm trying to take all over the world. And in my training, I understood that we never had a uniform as a people. we got to have a uniform. And so when I got to Brother Delvin come to me, I say, well, listen, we create these hats, and I want this hat right here, and I want you steppers to hear me, because every time I wear it, y'all ask me about it. And to Delvin them give me a permission to get it out there. I want this to be the #1 selling hat in our community, because it brings us together. Whatever we do, whether we're a carpenter, a mailman, or whatever, we gotta have something that says we all together.
Exactly.
And I don't care about my logo, B Manufacturing Company, or whatever. I think this OG cap, especially when it stands for original gentleman.
Exactly.
I think that all men that represent our culture, this should be our tie together, no matter where we from. Like I have an MLK process I do, no matter where you at. When you got on that MLK jacket, New York, DC, Atlanta, they say, man, you connected to Calvin. So we got to bring something in. And I just think this OG cap will do it. And we are the producers of this cap. And I want to make sure that all the steppers all over the country connect to this cap. And you know, Otis Williams is my man. I tried with Temptation for 10 years. And I want to get you all's permission to have 20 or 30 with me everywhere I go. So when I sit in the room with these heavyweights, Otis Williams, here go your OG hat.
Hey, because you're an OG.
Because you're an OG. So that's, you know, and I want you, even these young guys out here, man, they ask me about it. You know, we gotta have a uniform, man. And we gotta start from head down.
Exactly.
Because when you see all of these cats on TV talking about their son got killed and this and that or that and this, they always got on a hat that don't represent them.
Okay.
You know, we gotta find something that represents all of us. And I just really think this OG hat can do it.
There used to be a saying, if I could just save one. And if that one goes and does something great in the world, then we've accomplished, or we have accomplished what an OG represents. So take that to heart. We got another fascinating show coming out for you. Hey man, it's been a blast. Look forward to you coming back. I want to thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, follow. But I want to thank the millions of you that have done likewise. Stay with us, because we're going to keep bringing the heat. That's it. That's all. We have created this show so that men and women alike can come forward and tell their truth. If you have people that you believe to be an OG, go into the comment section, write us, let us know where to find the history so that we can authenticate it, bring them on the show, tell their story so that we can add to the American history. That's it. That's all.
The original OG.